So a few weeks ago we went to a dinner party and I was asked to cook a side dish, and because of the constraints of time that day I decided just to do a simple sauteed green bean with a little bit of oriental flair to it. It went over so well I decided to make it part of this series on 50 side dishes that you'll love to cook. So let's get started. Welcome to All Things Food. I'm John Woods and I love to cook, but I cook to love. And I really enjoy cooking side dishes. In this series of videos, we're going to explore some of the great side dishes that will go with any entree from A to Z. So let's talk food. So you probably have noticed that boiling sound to my left here. We have a pot of green beans going. They're canned green beans, and they're also part of this series. And I want you to watch that video because if you want to learn how to cook a simple dish that will become part of your family tradition, you'll need to watch this video. So we're going to cook these green beans, and I'm going to use frozen green beans today. We could use fresh, but just remember that if you use fresh green beans, be sure to blanch these before you cook them. It'll come out a lot better. So we're going to heat up our skillet. I'm going to use a little bit of my favorite avocado oil there. Let that get good and hot. If you use frozen green beans, do not thaw those before you cook them. Cook them from a frozen state. It does make a big difference in the consistency and the texture when you're finished. Looks like our skillet's good and hot. I'm going to go ahead and pour some in. I'm not going to cook the whole bag today. Get those started real good. And you notice I have these other ingredients over here. We're going to use a little bit of sesame oil, give it that little Asian flavor, along with some soy sauce, and I'm using extra light soy sauce today just to cut back on the salt because I'm going to be adding some chicken base. You can buy this at Walmart. A little bit of garlic toward the end because we don't want to burn the garlic, and then we'll salt and pepper if we need to, and then if we want to, as an option, we can add a few sesame seeds. So we're going to saute this a little bit, get it going nice and well. I love that sound of that sizzle there. And these are really good green beans, by the way. Now let me give you a little tip. If you're going to cook these for a dinner party and you want to prepare them before you go, don't cook them all the way. Cook them until just to get the chill off of the green beans, and then put them in a pan, finish them in the oven at about 400 degrees for about 5 minutes, turning them about once or twice, and they're going to be absolutely perfect. I think it's time to add our peppers and onions. You already cut those up, julienne cut. Saute those in for just a few minutes. I wish you could smell that. It's really great. And it's going to smell much better when I put the sesame oil and the Kikkoman and the garlic in just a few moments. And then, of course, we have the little bonus ingredient today. I had some mushrooms. Love mushrooms. We're going to throw these in right toward the very end. It does feel pretty warm. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of sesame oil. Let that cook a minute, and add a little bit of soy sauce. Get that going real good. I think we're going to have enough salt without adding the chicken base and the salt. I'm fine with it. We can always add that later if we want to. I'm going to cook it for just a few minutes, and then we're going to add the garlic. Why do I add the garlic at the very end? Well, I don't want that garlic to burn. So, and notice I keep these moving all the time pretty much. Add some of that garlic in there. Everything's better with garlic, of course, as Paula Deen says. Feeling really nice. And right at the very end here, I'm going to add a little bit of sesame seed. That's optional. If you don't want to add it, don't add it. But I like sesame seed. I'm going to add a good bit of it. Maybe a little bit of pepper. So we're going to go ahead and add our mushrooms to the dish, and that'll complete it. Those are totally optional. Do that right at the end pretty much, so because I don't like them to overcook. And we'll let those cook just a minute or two, and then we'll be finished. So I think we're ready here. They smell good. They look good. I'm comfortable. I'm going to take those out and put them in a little bowl over here. Oh man, they look great. So this is part of my series on 50 side dishes that you'll love to cook. I think you're really going to like this one. Great for a dinner party. Really good with fish. Try it with one of my salmon dishes. And do me a favor and subscribe to our channel. Tell people about it, like it. And I'll see you next week here on All Things Food with John Woods.